Hello everyone, my name is Michael SK, and welcome back to Umineko When They Cry. I was not expecting the support that I got out of the first video, so before we even get anywhere, I just want to say thank you. Thank you to everybody who commented, to those who, showed their support in my Discord server in the comments, saying, that they were excited, happy to see me jumping into this. I am not excited that this is playing while I'm sitting here in the main menu. I just wanted to tell you guys that I'm very surprised, but also humbled that there are so many of you that are happy to see me jumping into Umineko. I knew that a lot of you stuck around after Higurashi and were really hoping for me to jump into this one because, yeah, as a lot of you may know, I really enjoyed Higurashi. So much so that I sat down after recording all 8 chapters to kind of talk about my predictions, my thoughts on some topics that kind of stuck with me after finishing Chapter 8, and I've never done that. I've never done that with any playthrough before. So I was a definite fan of Higurashi, and a lot of you really wanted to see me jump into this. I understand, and I don't know, I'm still a little surprised, I guess you could say. So I just wanted to say thank you for all the comments, for even checking out the previous episode, the first episode of this playthrough. Again, I'm not really sure how much I'm going to, give towards my taste test here, but I definitely want to give this a fair shot to see if I'd really enjoy this. I will say that my interest was very piqued in the first episode. A quick recap, we got to meet a lot of the family members. It seems they are traveling somewhere where I'm not really sure, but other than that, we're really just meeting the very colorful cast of characters that I'm sure we're going to get to spend a lot of time with here in this very long story. Now, there's a couple of other things I wanted to talk about. First off, I think it was really funny that a lot of you, especially those in my Discord server, stuck with the bit that, like, hey, I'm never going to record this or whatever, because I was kind of doing a bit because part of me thought I never would record this. So, thank you. Huge thank you to everybody who stuck with that. That was really funny. Another thing is that if I can move around the menu here, I have switched the translation over to Witch Hunt, which I believe is the translation that came with the Steam version. Whatever it is, I have heard that it is, I guess, more preferable. Then again, I have not heard anything bad about the translation option that I was on by default. So I'm going to give it a shot. And that meant that I had to go back through. Pretty much all my settings were erased, and I had to get us back to where we were. And it wasn't too far along. It didn't take me a whole lot of time or anything. And in this process, I had to also redo my sound settings. I think I have it how I originally did, and I'm going to see if that's going to continue to work. It's just that the voices sound so loud when I'm recording that I just lower the entire volume of the video whenever I'm editing. And I think that works with everything, so I'm able to hear the music. The music doesn't become a problem in the final video. The voices aren't too loud. I'm still, the main focus, I think. So I think that is working okay. And another thing I wanted to point out, and I really, really should have thrown this in my 10-minute rambling of the first episode instead of the 10-minute rambling of the second, but as some of you may notice, I was cutting out some portions of the previous video. Very specifically, and really only parts where I was doing no commentating and no reacting whatsoever. This is something that I originally started to do a couple months ago when I was recording Anonymous Code. And it made me realize I really don't need to record or keep everything that I record in the final product. I still argue that everything I've recorded before because of my commentary puts it on the side of fair use. But a lot of others would still argue, no, we can still use your videos as a substitution for playing the game. And I don't want that. So I'm taking an extra step. Some may see it as unnecessary. I see it as something that I should do to protect myself in my videos, and I'm cutting out portions just where I'm not commentating. And I don't want to force commentary just to have every part of the game in the video. So If there's any parts of what I record that I'm just not reacting to or commentating on, it's probably going to get cut. And I was being very cautious, I guess you could say, with what I was removing from the first episode because I didn't want it to be like, you know, little pieces everywhere. I wanted it to just be the major parts where I just was soaking in what the characters were saying. It didn't seem important, and I wasn't saying anything in regards to what they were talking about. So I don't think it was a big deal personally, but I think you guys deserve to know that that's how this is going to go. I'm still experimenting with this, and I haven't done it with too many playthroughs yet, but I hope that that is understandable. I hope that doesn't take away from the experience, and I hope that you're able to enjoy the ride of Umineko with me as we go through like 5-10 years of this together, you know? If I do stick with it, that is. If you do have any questions, you know, feel free to let me know. If you have any concerns, let me know. If you have any suggestions for how to go about this, also let me know. I'm totally open to ideas, and at the end of the day, I want you guys to be entertained. You know, that's why I'm here, not only to soak in Umineko, but to also share my experiences with you guys for entertainment. Hopefully that all makes sense. There is a video that I will hopefully remember to link in the description. It was an update video that I did that pretty much talked about me doing this because of, well, concerns I was having when I was recording anonymous code, because that was very copyright heavy, and I do want to try and argue fair use. So if you guys want to learn a little bit more on that, there will be a video linked below, if I remember to link it. But let us figure out how I got to get back into where we were, and here we are. Hopefully this is specifically where we were. I'm pretty sure it was, but I could be wrong. And if I'm wrong, I'm sorry. Okay, so, just to make sure here, I did adjust the audio stuff, like I said, because I had everything reset, and I don't think this is actually right. I'm pretty sure that the volume is slightly lower, and I have no idea why. So I'm just going to roll with this, see how it goes, maybe have a comparison with what I first recorded, but damn it, damn me and my mistake of not recording my settings in the first recording session or taking a screenshot before changing the language. I could probably change the language back, but I don't want it to erase anything. I don't want that fear to become a reality. So we're just going to live with it. We'll just kind of continue onwards. Oh, I also got some really good comments on like how the tip system works, which I think I kind of figured out. If anything is highlighted, we've pretty much unlocked a tip, or something that we have already read has been updated. We have already kind of gone through these, or I skipped whatever I felt like should just be skipped. Now there is the characters menu, and I believe this gets updated with more characters as we go on through. Yeah, so we can learn about all the characters in greater detail, and I think this gets updated. So I guess let's start off by reading about these characters. Why not? Let's get acclimated with this family of wackos and weirdos. So Battler is the son of Rudolph and his first wife, Asumu. Turned against his father 6 years ago when he married a second wife immediately after Asumu passed on. He went to live with his grandparents on his mother's side. However, both of these grandparents passed away, and he has now returned to the Ushiromiya family after 6 years. This family conference is a chance for him to renew his friendship with his cousins after a 6-year gap. Okay, well, there we go. Now, I think we're learning a little bit more here by actually looking into these guys. So then there's Kairi, which is Rudolph's second wife. They had been business partners for a considerable length of time before the passing of his first wife, at which time she openly took the position. Served as Rudolph's right hand in several shady pieces of business, guiding them to success. Oh, lovely. Truly lovely. Quick thinking and deeply trusted by her husband. And then there's the main man himself, Rudolph, and all this wacky stuff here in this line. This is Kinzo's third child. Along with his sister Ava, he intends to make his voice heard during the family conference to prevent their elder sibling, Kraus, from keeping all of their father's wealth for himself. Lost his former wife, Asumu, 6 years ago and married his current wife, Kairi, straight after that. I was told that some of these names and the what is this, kanji? Or whatever symbols we are being presented do not actually make up a lot of these names. So there's that, but take that with a grain of salt. That's just something that I was told. We have George. I like George. George seems like an interesting fella. Totally not hiding anything. Ava and Hideyoshi's son, an affable young man liked by everyone in the family. He is currently studying as an assistant for his father's company, and it seems he dreams of making it on his own one day. The oldest of the 4 cousins, he acts as their leader and arbitrator. Then there's Hideyoshi, Ava's husband. I think he's pretty okay and not annoying like some of the characters already. Not to call them annoying, but he keeps to himself. He took his wife's name upon their marriage and was welcomed into the Ushiromiya family. That's probably why it's ordered like that. So the main family members are shown first here in the line. Therefore, he does not possess the spiteful Ushiromiya genes, and his bright smile is very refreshing at the family conferences. He started his business from scratch and now works as the president of a company operating medium-sized restaurant chains. Apparently, business is soaring and things are going extremely well. And we got Ava, Kinzo's second child, hostile towards her brother Kraus and opposes him in almost everything. This Kraus doesn't seem all that great, and I'm assuming that's our top line here. So, from issues dealing with the family fortune to the question of who will succeed the family headship. Normally, she would have lost her place in the Ushiromiya register upon her marriage, but she managed to forcibly overcome this by having her husband take her family name. And I've heard of this. This isn't necessarily like a super rare thing, but I do hear that, there are some husbands that are willing to take the wife's last name. Maybe for a crazy serious reason like this, or, just because, maybe it sounds cool. Maria, Rose's daughter. Her father's identity is unknown. Oh, lovely. I was wondering, why is there a space there? Who's supposed to be here? That kind of like ruins the whole pattern that we have going on here. She can't shake off the habit of speaking like a young child, which often earns her a scolding. She has no interest in studying or making friends. She's a child. Come on, no one has interest in making friends. Well, maybe making friends, but nobody has interest in studying. Studying is stupid if you're a child. But is very interested in things concerning the occult and black magic. Huh. You know what? Go back to making friends and maybe studying. Maybe that's a better thing to do. And thanks to her excellent powers of memorization, she knows all kinds of obscure trivia, Yeah, maybe use that memorization for, cheating your way through school. That's a good way. Rosa, Kinzo's 4th child, by far the youngest of the 4 siblings. It seems that this gives her a weaker position at the family conference. She manages a design company, but she has yet to start taking it seriously, and its financial situation is far from favorable. All right. I think we've read up on everybody so far, but as we meet more characters, and there seems to be some characters that are not a part of the family chain here, but may have some sort of relation. I remember seeing some names that did not bear the family name here, so I think we might be meeting them very soon. Okay, yeah. Definite change in the audio levels here. So I'm gonna have to look into that whenever I'm editing. I will have to do some comparisons. It's just that I'm seeing it live with my audio waves on OBS, and yeah, unless I accidentally didn't set things correctly, I don't know. I thought everything was the same. No, just shaking planes.
こいつ昔から乗り物がなぜかダメでさ二言目には落ちるだの沈むだの
I mean, people get car sick and, seasick. Oh, come on.
ありゃ、 さすがに揺れすぎだろ。
No, there are legit people that cannot handle that in this day and age.
小型機乗るのは初めてだったから、ちょいと答えちまっただけだぜ。
あの大騒ぎでちょいとなの？バトラ君とは海外旅行を一緒に行くと賑やかそうね。
Hey, I doubt it.
おばさんとエジプトとか行かない？ 14 時間も飛行機に乗れるわよ。
いい提案ね。
Poor Battler.
バトラ君、エヴァ姉さんに少し鍛えてもらいなさいよ。それにしてもおかしい。
Poor guy.
こらこら、人間誰しも得て増えてはあるもんや。
Thank you, Hideyoshi. See, I've got a good feeling about Hideyoshi so far.
そない笑うたら悪いで。
Never mind, he's still fucking laughing.
父さんも笑うのは悪いよ。
Now, George, he's got a good head on his shoulders
ほ
here.
ら、マリアちゃんももう笑っちゃダメ。
もう笑っちゃダメ？
Ah, damn it. Is being scared of planes really such a big deal? Everyone obviously thinks I'm a big oaf now. Oh, now we're in a car. Don't worry, no shaking here. Unless you want it to shake. We can make that happen. We split up and took separate taxis from the airport to the harbor. From there on, we would be taking a boat to the island. The islands are right next to each other, so the distance of the trip wasn't that great. By boat, it was a leisurely 30 minutes to the island. When we reached the pier where the boat to the island was anchored, we saw a figure waving at us. New character? Yep, new character. And that is another family member.
ってことは、ジョージ兄さん、このデカブツ、バトラなのかよ。
We both stared at each other. Oh yeah, people are like really astounded by how much Battler has like grown. So everybody is like making it a topic to bring up upon seeing him. She definitely didn't look like that in my memories, but I do remember her crazy way of talking. Ooh, that's the green text. That means there's a tip of some sort in the grimoire. Jessica's speech. In Japanese, men and women traditionally, or perhaps stereotypically, speak differently. And this difference is much larger than what you would find in English. I almost said England for some reason. Well, maybe there too. But Jessica's speech is masculine, blunt, casual, and assertive. In Japanese, this is quite evident in a majority of her lines, using assertive and traditionally male particles like that, and casual slangy contradictions. She a tomboy character, kind of?
よー、ジェシカ！なんだよ、お前！嘘だろ？なーに女みたいな格好してんだよ！
Yeah, that's something to say.
なんだよ、これ胸かよ！お前にも胸なんかできたのかよ！
That is also something to say. Hey, yo, wait, hold on. Wait a minute.
ふざけやがれ！私は花も恥じらう18だぜ！髪だって伸びりゃ出るとこだって出るぜ！てめえに揉ませる胸なんざあるもんかい！バトラこそなんだよ！バカみてえに図体だけでかくなりやがって！
Yeah, we all had our sharing growth spurts.
腕力ついたのか？
ざけんじゃねえ！あれからどれだけ鍛錬積んだか思い知らせてやんぜ！
Yeah, it sort of seems, by going off on his own, Battler had a little bit of his own character development arc.
うぜえぜ！
But that's my assumption.
返り討ちだ！
This headstrong girl's name is that. She was born under the same unlucky star as me, sharing the same name, or same kind of weird name. Anyway, that is pronounced as Jessica. She's Dad's older brother's daughter. That older brother happens to be the oldest son of the Ushiromiya family, so for now it means Jessica is the direct family heir. Since Jessica and I are the same age, and sometimes had little boy-girl squabbles with each other, we've always been used to fighting and joking around together whenever the relatives gather. Jessica grew more quickly, so she always had me beat in terms of size and physical strength. When we scuffled in a contest of strength, it usually went Jessica's way. Okay, maybe the tables have turned now. So even though I realized I had grown bigger, part of my mind was still convinced that I couldn't beat Jessica. What are we doing?
うるせえぜ！こちとら女やってんだ。いつまでも腕力で男に勝てるわけねえだろ。
まあそりゃそうだよな。俺が腕につけた分の肉をお前は胸につけたんだもんな。
Damn.
俺の腕とお前の胸なら
That's not how that works,
ちょうどいい
but okay.
力比べになりそうじゃねえのか。
Wait, bro, this is family.
だからお前に揉ませる胸はねえ。それよりお前こそどうなんだよ。身長以外にも他のところちゃんと大人になったのか。
What?
バカやめろ。いやんこの野郎お嫁に行けなくなる。変な
人様が聞いて誤解すること言うんじゃね
It's
え。
being misinterpreted or interpreted the wrong way, game. Please make a good comeback here. Honestly, I was so surprised at how feminine Jessica had become that I had to joke around like an idiot to hide it. Well, considering what a bossy brat she was 6 years ago, anyone would be surprised. And I guess she's just as surprised. She probably wasn't expecting to lose to me in a test of strength. After losing that easily, she must be shocked at how much I've grown in the past 6 years. 6 years. Once again, I'm being shown just what a huge gap of time that was. Yeah, especially when you're young. Like, yeah, 6 years when you're an adult. Sure, that is a pretty significant chunk of time, but like, not much could happen. Not much could go down, but when you're kids, yeah. 100%, there's so much development.
やれやれ乾杯だぜ。こりゃもう私じゃかなわねえな。
そんなことないよ。バトラ君にもきっと弱点はあるよ。
Yeah, we actually just saw one of them not too long ago.
ね、マリアちゃん。
Oh no, she's gonna help.
この弱点はジェシカにはもうさらさないぜ。
No, but you could easily be told about it.
何しろ悪夢の空路はもう終わっちまったんだからな。あとはのんびりチャボチャボとお船の旅さ。あのオンボロ漁船がこれほど恋しくなるとは思わなかったぜ。
It's interesting. He's totally fine with traveling, you know, by sea in a boat, but whenever it comes to like a plane or maybe even a car, I guess maybe it's just a plane. Maybe it's a fear of heights. And like the shaking like really intensifies it.
ああジョージ兄さんこいつ頭どうかしたのか。
Probably.
すぐにわかるよ。すぐにね。
At the time, I didn't get what Aniki meant by that big smile. Are we not traveling via
こ
boat?
れはこれははあ
Ah, this is somebody that does not bear the family name. This is Kumasawa Chiyo.
バトラさんも大きくなりまして
But they seem to be connected to the family in some sort of way. Who is it this time? It's an old lady with an apron. Oh yeah, that takes me back. I remember now.
バトラ君、覚えてるかい？ほら、お手伝いの熊沢さんだよ。
Gotcha.
熊沢のばあちゃんは忘れねえぜ。何しろこの6年ちっとも老けちゃいねえぜ。むしろ若返ったんじゃねえの？
Now that's the right thing to say. Yeah, there you go.
最近はお肌がピチピチしてきちゃってほら胸もますますに大きく
Okay,
なっ
it's
ちゃい
getting
まし
weird
た
all
ん
of
で
a
すよ
sudden. Wait, back her up.
揉んでみます
Back her up, throw her in reverse.
ご冗談。俺が揉みたいのはピチピチした姉ちゃんの胸限定だぜ。
What? Huh?
私とて若い日にはそれはピチピチしておりましたよほらほらぜひどうぞお揉みくださいませ
What is with the fucking theme of this episode, man? Like it has really just like transitioned to some crazy shit.
勘弁してくれよ。若い姉ちゃんだ若い姉ちゃん。熊沢のばあちゃんじゃねえよ。
The jokes I had cracked about Jessica were being turned against me. Come to think of it, Kumasawa had always been the type to tease people.
おいおいよせよ熊沢さん。監獄に半分足突っ込んだ人が
Oh my
はしゃいじゃい
god.
けねえぜ。
Holy shit, dude. Do not say that.
若い方とじゃれるのが何よりの若返りの薬ですよ
Damn, that laugh is fucking evil. Ugh.
熊沢さんが迎えに来るなんて珍しいじゃない。
I didn't mean to say that it was like an evil laugh, but like it comes off like as an evil laugh. I don't even know what the fuck I'm trying to say. I don't know. That's a good little laugh there.
お迎え待ちの老いぼれのお迎えでは景気も悪いでしょうが
Aunt Ava spoke sarcastically, but Kumasawa Bachan's years of experience were nothing to sneeze at. I've never used that honorific before. I've never spoken that aloud. I know what it means. It's obvious, but like, goddamn. she was more than capable of smoothly and coolly deflecting that comment. Well, it feels bad to say it, but old Kumasawa Bachan may be past her prime as a servant. She might act as though she's in good health, but between the headaches and her lumbago, her body is wearing out. To tell the truth, the very fact that she's still working is impressive. How old is she this year again? She must be pushing 80 at least. It's incredible that she's still able to act so cheerily.
ますますにお元気なようで。
Yeah, I mean, she just must really enjoy working. Like, this has been her life. The people have been good to her, and she's been good to the people.
そうだこれ。
Yeah, I don't know anything about, being a servant or a butler or a maid or anything like that. I do know that those are existing occupations, but yeah, I don't know. Especially for a family. Like, you are, that for a specific family, and that is just how it is. Like, forever, basically.
前に話してたお茶です。ほら、買ってきました。後で飲んでみてください。
Aunt Rosa took a souvenir bag out from her suitcase, to think that she remembered a promise that she had apparently made last year and faithfully bought it. This sort of thoughtfulness was just like Aunt Rosa. She wasn't the kind of person who would forget or break a promise. Kumasawa Bachan seemed deeply touched. Not only that, Aunt Rosa had remembered this year-old promise, but that she would bring a gift to a simple servant like her. This woman is Kumasawa Chiyo-san. She's a senior servant who's been working at the Ushiromiya head family household for many years. As you would expect from someone her age, manual labor isn't her strong point, but she's a kind of super servant who can handle just about anything from kitchen work to cleaning and laundry. It seems like her only flaw is a tendency to slack off. I hear she tries to get away from heavy or troublesome work by playing up her chronic diseases. In Kumasawa Bachan's case, this was probably a sign of craftiness rather than laziness. Though it probably doesn't impress those paying her salary. Ah, well, even if she's pretty flaky when it comes to work, I could never dislike her. I guess that's probably because of her cheerfulness and her constant smile.
Yeah, I
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, she seems to have, like, the good side of everybody here, and, that will kind of negate any, like, little problems that may have popped up over the years, in my opinion. But, who am I to say anything? So we've met a couple of characters. We should read up on them here. So we've got Jessica, Kraus and Natsuhi's daughter. In the absence of any irregularities, it is thought that she will eventually inherit the headship of the Ushiromiya family. Or rather, her husband will. However, she seems to have no interest in all of this. Born with weak bronchi and sometimes assailed by sudden asthma attacks. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Alrighty. And then there's Chiyo. This elderly woman is a part-timer who has served the family for a great many years, despite quitting her job several times along the way. Goddamn. Shrewd and more than competent when it comes to performing her duties, but because of her chattiness and love of rumors, she is not highly regarded as a servant. Alright. There we go.
薬を飲んでもちっとも良くなりませんで、こればかりはお医者様ではどうにもなりません。不治の病っちゅうもんですわ。
That fucking laugh, dude.
それにしてもジェシカちゃんはますます美人になったな。
That's sus.
夏日姉さんに似てよかったぜ。
そうですか？私的には全然似てないつもりなんですけど。
Does she have, I was going to point this out when we had first started talking with her. Does she have Mion and Shion's voice actor? I mean, I think Mion was, or Mion's voice actor there, had a perfect voice for the tomboy role. I think how she kind of came off with everything was really great, but being able to also flip that and sound a whole lot more girly with Shion, that was damn incredible. So I'm just kind of curious if, like, they're using her here as well.
つうか、親には似たくないです。
And if it's not, that's okay too.
あ、それ俺。バカ言え。お前こそ俺に似るんじゃねえ。
Yeah, I think that's the goal here.
お前の鼻が似ててムカつくんだよ。
何言ってんのよ。呆れるくらいそっくりよ。
I mean,
あなたもお父様もね。
they're both very tall.
クラウス兄さんもルドルフ兄さんも信じられないくらいお父様にそっくり。
What's with the angry look here?
おいおい参ったな。なんで俺だけ女どもに集中放火なんだ。秀吉兄さん助けてくださいよ。
いやいや、ルドルフ君はいっつも女性にモテてるな。
I just love how he's not really helping him here.
羨ましいで。
He's just enjoying all of this. He's just soaking it in and keeping to himself. What a guy. Oh my god, dude. Chio, that fucking laugh, bro. Oh, she is going to win my heart.
もう今度は怖くないぜ。波で揺れるのは慣れてるしな。オンボロ漁船の場合、揺れて怖いってよりエンジンがぶっ壊れて漂流するんじゃねえかって方が怖いぜ。
I mean, we could just sink, you know, that is also something that can pop up.
そうだ、バトラ君。言うのを忘れてた。あの漁船はだいぶ老朽化してたんで数年前に引退したんだよ。
Oh, we're using one of them new fancy boats with an engine.
ほう。ってことは、船旅の時間がさらに短縮されたわけか。
Yes.
そりゃ素晴らしい。何しろ飛行機よりマシとはいえ沈没の危険にさらされる時間が少しでも短くなるってんだから、こりゃ極めて素晴らしいぜ。
I'm curious to see if his fear will strike him here as well. What kind of pinpoint what exactly his fear, you know, stems from.
バトラはまた落ちる。
そりゃ飛行機の時だけさ。もう大丈夫だぜ。
何しろ船長自慢の改造高速艇らしいぜ。だいぶいじってるらしく、プロペラは高性能のが4機もついてて、最高速度は40ノットを超えるとかなんとか自慢してたな。
Yeah, I don't know any, like, you know, boat knowledge, so this is way beyond me.
いつも自慢されるんで覚えちまったぜ。
僕も毎年聞かされるんで覚えちゃったよ。船長は昔外国の漁船と速度比べをして負けて以来、スピード改造に取りつかれちゃったんだってさ。
Are boat races still a thing, actually? Like, I know that they were so, well, not huge, but no, they still have to be they're bound to be a thing still, right? I
そ
mean,
の時の
in
相
this
手
day
は
and
漁
age.
船なのに30ノット以上も出せたんだってね。
その雪辱の念が結実して、スカッと爽快な超高速改造艇の誕生となったわけさ。バトラもきっと気に入るぜ。
Oh, I wonder. Super high-speed modded boat. My first thought was that this would be much better than some beat-up boat that might sink at any moment, but for some reason, I got this feeling of foreboding. Probably just overthinking it. Yeah, let's keep it at that. Hopefully. But no, let's see what happens here. Oh yeah. Battler's gonna fucking die. And throw up.
おいバトラー、島までは泳いで行った方がいいんじゃねえか。
バトラ君、柵からあんまり身を乗り出しちゃダメだよ。
Gamers, I do not think Battler is having all the greatest of times here.
落ちちゃうから。
No, just a feeling.
チェックしろー。さっきからみんながニヤニヤ笑ってたのはこれだったのか。
Okay, so it does seem like a lot of vehicles are his weak point. That's the problem here. Not necessarily heights, not necessarily I guess just, you know, swaying back and forth. He's afraid of things, you know, breaking down and him getting involved in it, which is weird here with the boat, but whatever. And maybe I'm still wrong. I don't know. Battler is just having a hard time. So this is the super high-speed boat that the captain started modding. Oh yeah, that piece of junk fishing boat from 6 years ago doesn't hold a candle to this guy. So, fun fact, while we're, you know, staring at a shaking, you know, screen, you know, just because it's kind of funny, for some odd reason, this shit, like, runs at, like, not a correct, like, frames per second or, like, hertz, so my monitor, like, fully drops that shit, but right now, like, everything seems really smooth. Probably because, like, it's probably, like, perception. Oh, no. Yeah, Jessica's gonna use this against us, isn't she?
ジェシカちゃんもマリアちゃんもいじめちゃ悪いって。
George, you were literally like getting ready to join in on the teasing before we left.
バトラ君も怖いなら甲板に出なきゃいいのに、船内ならもう少し怖くないと思うけどな。
そいつはサンキューだぜ兄貴。海難事故の犠牲者はいつも船内なんだ。生存者は大抵事故時は甲板なんだぜ。
Okay, but is there really going to be an accident happening here? I mean,
だ
come
から
on.
俺はここにいる。でも揺れる、落ちる、ふわふわ、
揺れる、落ちる、
マリア、よしなさいったら。でもバトラ君、本当に苦手なのね。
Yeah, so it's okay to make fun of you.
船長さんに速度を落とすように言ってきてあげるわ。
ローザおばさんありがとう。海の上でも安全運転、徐行運転、指差し確認。
ダメよローザ、青年には試練も必要なんだから。
Oh, that's fucked up. Come on, give the man a break.
ねえバトラ君、これくらいへっちゃらで克服できちゃうわよね。じゃないとおばさんとエジプトに
I don't even think that was like something that was being planned by him.
エヴァおばさんの意地悪。ダメ、落ちる。ライフジャケット、パラシュート。
I don't think a parachute's gonna do you much good, buddy. What's the travel time looking like here, honestly?
いや、ひっくり返して考え
How
るんだ。
much more do we got?
敵の狙いは何だ。俺をこうして怖がらせることか。そいつが狙いなら甘いぜ。ビビってなんかやるのか。でもダメ、落ちる。
Yeah, they really just told the voice actor, like, yeah, just scream at the end of every line. So after I made a huge fool of myself for a while, Aunt Rosa had a talk with the boat captain, and he slowed down to a more manageable speed for me.
これくらいなら、さっきのは生きた心地がしなかったぜ。
How fucking fast were we going compared to now? Apparently the max speed I can tolerate is extremely slow. But that just now was completely insane. The whole boat was shaking, sliding and leaping on the ocean's surface. It felt like I was riding on the back of a flying fish. Jessica was still guffawing at me as I leaned against the railing, tired and disheartened.
さっきは力比べで負けたけどよ、もっと重要な部分で負けてなかったことが分かって私は嬉しいぜ。
Yeah, I guess we could just call it even, you know?
いやしかし
くっそー、好きなだけ笑えよ。いつか弱点を見つけ返しててめえの胸も
Okay, I don't know about
潰して
that
や
last
る
part.
ぜ。
Really don't know about that last part.
見つけられたら考えてやるぜ。
Again, cousins, you know, be cautious here.
バトラヘロヘロ。
ああ、バトラヘロヘロだ。海も空もごめんだぜ。
Maria was patting my back, so I patted her head in return. Her expression was blank, as usual, but I realized that she wanted to console me. I don't know what to think of her, honestly.
船長が罪滅ぼしにってドリンクをサービスしてくれたよ。
I mean, she's just a child in all of this crazy shit that is bound to come up here.
飲んで一服しないかい？落ち着くよ。
George Anaki and Kumasawa Bachan brought us all ice-cold cans of soft drinks covered with beads of water. Judging from Kumasawa-san's big grin, our parents inside the boat were probably all rolling around laughing at my moment of pure terror. Damn it, I'm so embarrassed. I can't bear to face any of them. If I didn't change the subject somehow, I had the feeling that I'd be the butt of everyone's jokes for the whole trip. So I tried to think of something harmless to talk about.
ああ、ジェシカ、クラウスおじさんと夏日おばさんは元気なのかよ。
Oh yeah, this sounds harmless.
親父とおふくろ？残念ながら元気だぜ。
Why is that unfortunate?
いっつも受験って言われてたよ。うるさくも思ったけど、今は感謝してるよ。
やっぱりジョージ
That's what
兄
I'm
貴は
saying.
人間ができてるな。
Now, George seems pretty cool. However, I'm hesitant, you know? I'm really hesitant. We haven't learned enough of these characters. On the outside, you know, they seem to be showing off their strengths and weaknesses. And, I think it's kind of opposites here with Battler and George. But I'm sure there's something else deeper within.
ちなみにうちは絶賛放任中だからな。なんにも言われないぜ。まあ、言われたって聞かねえけどな。
Yep, there we go.
どうしてお家が2つ？
Only Maria, who couldn't really grasp the situation, voiced this naive question. However, the others just shot nervous glances at me, choosing not to respond even though they knew the answer.
ほら、船着き場が見えてきたぜ。ほら、あれ、見えるか？
Honestly, it's probably like nothing that she really needs to worry about. Apparently, Jessica was trying to be nice by changing the subject. Now, that's totally well and good. I think that's the best way to go. Maria doesn't need to know about whatever crazy shit really did go down between Battler and his parents. Well, I'd rather not talk about it if I can help it. But it's uncomfortable to have it treated like some kind of weird taboo. I don't mind it that much myself anymore. I may be a member of the Ushiromiya family, but the truth is that for these last 6 years, I've been living with my grandparents on my late mother's side, and I have been using your family name. When those grandparents passed away one after the other, I basically had no choice but to go back and live with the old bastard. Don't get me wrong. I didn't just run away from home or anything like that. The only one at fault here is my dad. I don't really blame Kairi-san. But being able to hold that old bastard's reins and ride him out is no mean feat. Still, the way that old bastard betrayed my mom, well, unfortunately, I still haven't fully gotten over that. I am happy that he isn't bringing his stepmother into all this. And I said this in the first episode that we recorded here. I think the way that they're going about it makes it the most comfortable for everyone involved, especially those two. And however best they want to go about it, I think is just good for everybody around, It's up to them.
もうすぐ着くね。
George Aniki cleared his throat, trying to change the subject.
失礼しました。年寄りが余計なことを言ってしまったようで。
Nothing like a little drama, It's all good.
お気に障りましたら。
気にもしてないし、触ってもないぜ。気にすんなよ。熊沢のばあちゃん。
Kumasawa-san seemed to regret speaking out of turn. But I was more concerned about being worried over something like that. So I stood up and passed it off lightly. After that, I had a sip of my drink and headed over to Maria and Jessica, who were gazing at the silhouette of the island.
島が見えた、島が見えた。
どれどれ？おお、見えてきたな。6年ぶりでも記憶と寸分変わらない島影だぜ。
And I take it that this is where the majority of the story is going to take place. Again, I don't really know much about Umineko. I've kind of stayed quite blind to it out of disinterest, and also, well, I don't want to spoil myself on anything, just in case, and here we are. But it did kind of seem like they all were not necessarily on an island, that's something new I'm learning, but in like one big location. And, well, here we go. The small island silhouette in front of us had gotten pretty close. This island's name is Rokkenjima. It's a small island about 10 kilometers around, located in the Izu Archipelago? Sorry guys, I'm stupid. Since they call this the Izu 7. Lots of people think that there are only 7 islands, but that's not true. Yeah, I'm not even gonna try and fucking pronounce that shit. Oh, by the way, to everybody who's new here, I am terrible at pronouncing things. And I think the reason is because my IQ seemingly drops whenever I am recording for whatever reason. No, I do suck whenever it comes to pronunciations. If you guys want to correct me, that's fine. If you guys want to laugh at me, that's totally good too. There's actually several more, and Rokkenjima is one of the minor islands that don't get counted. Even if that weren't the case, I doubt that you'd find many people who knew about this island. Only people connected to the Ushiromiya family ever go there. In other words, outsiders and tourists never have any reason to care about it. So you'll never find this island's name in a travel brochure. After all of Rokkenjima is an estate possessed by the Ushiromiya head family. Only the Ushiromiya family lives here. I also am struggling to still pronounce that. And only people connected to the Ushiromiya family come and go to and from there. There's nothing there except a harbor and a mansion. The vast majority of the island is still just uncultivated forest. Such a waste when it could be made into a nice golf course or something. However, when you realize that the entire coastline is a private beach, it starts to sound pretty magnificent. I mean, I'm excited to check this place out and inevitably be bored of it eventually because, you know, we're in another small area. It's kind of, I don't know if it's a downside. I don't think it was a downside in Higurashi where we just had the village, but I don't know. It's what we're going to have to get acquainted to here. You've probably guessed by now, but to put it simply, well, the Ushiromiya family is just rolling in dough. Nah, that is what I assumed. The head family apparently possesses a vast fortune, and Dad and the others who make up the branch families have built up plenty of wealth for themselves, finding success in their respective businesses. I've been living a commoner's life at my grandparents' home these 6 years, so I had completely forgotten. But the old bastard's house really is elegant, and everything about it is tuned to match the snobbish tastes of the annoyingly rich. Come to think of it, I guess that makes George, Aniki, Jessica, Maria, and me wealthy, high-class gentlemen and ladies. Needless to say, none of us think of ourselves that way at all. I don't see myself as being rich, and George Aniki, who takes self-discipline very seriously, doesn't let himself get too comfortable. Jessica is always complaining that she'd rather move to the city than be rich, and Maria is still a kid who isn't even interested in money at all. Does that attitude really make us any less snobbish? From the perspective of people in poverty who can't pay the bills, we really have been blessed with a lot. Yeah, I mean, nothing can really go wrong for them. They always have something that they can fall back on, regardless of whatever direction they decide to go in. This isn't the place to explain any further, so I won't. Anyway, it's the same as not being able to choose the parents you're born from. I didn't ask to be born into a rich family, and I don't think it's really something to be envied. It can be pretty tiring or trying when people are prejudiced against you just because you're rich and refuse to judge you by your merits. As I pondered these sentimental thoughts, Maria started shouting and leaned over the railing. Yeah, there's a lot I could say too. I mean, I don't think I'm necessarily like in a poverty situation. I mean, here I am sitting with my, gaming PC and a nice home with my family, and I'm recording a visual novel for fun. So I don't think I'm in necessarily a bad place. Are there people above me that have it a whole lot nicer? Fuck yeah, 100%. Like, I still have to go to work, I still got bills to pay. But a lot of people definitely have it a lot easier, are born into a much easier life. But easy is also very subjective. I mean, they still have to go to school. They still have to grow, Sure, you could be born into a rich family, but I think there are some similarities that, yeah, you still have to grow up and become a fucking adult, 100%. But, yeah, things can be easier and things can be harder with whichever direction you look. I'm sure a lot of people say that, yeah, life is easier if you're richer. In some cases, that's probably true. I don't know. Yeah, what is she talking about? It's just the ramblings of a 9-year-old. Just ignore her. Maria kept yelling, "Gone, gone." At first, it sounded as though she had dropped something, but while she shouted, she also pointed out over the ocean. If she had dropped something, she would probably have looked down at the floor, but Maria was pointing out over the ocean. One would assume by that gesture that she had spotted something, but she kept saying that something wasn't there. Strange. However, since my last memories of this place came from 6 years ago, I was able to spot it before Aniki, who comes here every year. Is there something on screen? I'm not seeing anything personally. Oh. So there was something here, and now there isn't up on the hill. Okay, well, I'm fairly certain I know what a torii is, but let's read up on it, So a torii is a ceremonial entry gate to a Shinto shrine. It is usually red and has a very recognizable and prominent square shape, consisting of 2 vertical or slightly inward tilted pillars joined by 2 extended horizontal bars, one crowning the pillars and the other just below. Sometimes many torii are used in series along a path. Yeah, I mean, they are pretty recognizable. They are usually red and white, huh?
そうだ、確かにあったぜ。島に近づいてくると最初に迎えてくれる目印みたいなもんだったからよく覚えてるぜ。
Interesting that Maria was able to remember that. Well, I guess if she does come here often, yeah, I guess she can remember that. But us, 6 years ago, when she was 3, probably not.
へえ、バトラすごいじゃねえか。6年ぶりなのによく覚えてるもんだぜ。
It's the little things, you know?
大方、波か何かでさらわれちまったんだろ。
I kind of doubt that.
小さい
They're
岩だ
made
っ
to
た
be
しな。
pretty sturdy, no?
だいぶ風化で脆くなってたんだろうさ。
私もそうだと思ってるんだけどよ。亡くなっちゃったのはこの夏のことなんだよ。なんでもよ。
ある晩に大きな稲妻が落ちてお社を砕いてしまったんだとか。
Ah, that bodes well.
神樹様に落雷があるなど、これは不吉の兆しに違いないと。
Oh, even better. Even fucking better.
ささやいておりますね。くわばらくわばら。
Kumasawa-san smiled impishly as if teasing us, rubbing her hands together while intoning a Japanese phrase meant to ward off lightning. However, Maria apparently took this seriously and stared fixedly over the ocean to where the crag housing the shrine god was supposed to be. Oh yeah, that'll scare her real good.
よせよ熊沢さん。マリアはそういう冗談の通じない年頃なんだからさ。
大丈夫だよ、マリアちゃん。偶然だよ。何も怖いことなんか起きないよ。
Georgianaki put a hand on Maria's shoulder to calm her down, but Maria's sharp-eyed expression did not waver. Oh, it's always the children that become the scariest. Maria muttered that word over and over. Apparently repeating a single word over and over is a habit that Maria has had for a long time. However, since the word she was saying was literally an ill omen, it was a bit creepy. That's what I'm saying. Oh boy.
おいおいマリア、そんなに何度も繰り返してたら本当に不吉がやってきちまうぜ。
Okay, don't say that either. I tapped Maria's other shoulder. Maria whipped her head around, stared into my face, and spoke unblinkingly. What the fuck, dude?
来るってどこからさ。
I answered lightheartedly, trying to break the tension in the air. At that moment, Maria held up a finger, raised her arm high, and pointed up to the heavens. When I looked up, I saw that the sky was still just as cloudy, but it had grown a great deal more laden than it had been that morning. That's right. They were saying that a typhoon was approaching, and yet here we go. Here we go over to this nice little island. We had planned to spend one night on the island, but if this storm doesn't pass quickly, I won't be able to make it to school on Monday. Well, I guess it makes for a pretty good excuse to be absent. No, I feel like we might... I think we're going to be here for a while. There's going to be a long story to tell after all. She apparently sensed some kind of misfortune in this cloudy sky. She's been muttering that non-stop for a while now. Girls of Maria's age tend to be very impressionable. She's just about the age that many girls start to get excited about sixth senses and whether they have any psychic potential and stuff. For all we know, this might be due to her childish, sensitive nature. I don't know. You know, Higurashi has steered me in a direction to always be very iffy on these sort of things, you know?
天気は今夜くらいには崩れるかもしれないけど、明日には良くなって綺麗な青空になってるよ。
Yeah, we better fucking hope, huh?
止まない雨、晴れない雲。
I'm not liking the way that she's suddenly talking.
確かに台風が近づいてるけどよ。すぐに過ぎちまうって。大丈夫さ、マリア。
Oh, what's wrong now? Maria started yelling ooh ooh. and it looked as though she was having a tantrum because no one could understand what she was trying to say. What in the world is Maria trying so desperately to warn us about? Unable to understand her, we couldn't help but feel a vague sense of misfortune. I've heard that everyone can feel the supernatural, but that it weakens as you age. That might mean that Maria, the youngest of us all, still possessed some kind of sense that the rest of us had lost. I wonder if that sense is sending her a warning. I mean, we could turn back, but nobody's gonna want to. At that moment, Kumasawa-san quietly opened her mouth. Oh no. Do not start. Do not start with this shit.
熊沢さん、その話はなしにしようぜ。
Yeah, whatever it is, let's just not. Just as Kumasawa-san was about to tell some kind of story, Jessica sharply interrupted her. Jessica's tone was extremely firm for her. I wanted to push her further, just out of simple curiosity. Yeah, there's a part of me too that really wants to know what she has to say, but I'm sure eventually we're gonna find out. But judging by the look on Jessica's face, whatever Kumasawa-ba-chan was likely to say would probably make Maria even more uneasy. If I did try to press her for the story, the odds were pretty good that it wouldn't be anything bright and cheery. No, probably the complete fucking opposite. 100%.
ここの風は年寄りには応えますんで。ちょっと。
Gossipers have no reason to hang around after they've been told to stop chatting. When Kumasawa-san finally realized that she had overstepped her bounds, which has happened a couple times already now, she went back inside the boat. That is curious though, huh? After she left, Uncle Hideyoshi showed up in her place. Since he had arrived mid-conversation, sorry I was having a stroke, he completely failed to notice that the complicated atmosphere that had hung about the scene, so he refreshingly and unwittingly swept that atmosphere aside. So in the end, it was his lack of tact that brightened the mood.
もう到着だそうやないか。
And we've been almost there for like 15 minutes.
おう、もうちょいやの。今日はのんびりスピードだから時間がかかってもうたわ。
Oh, yep, back to Boken Fun.
誰のせいやねん。
うわ、秀吉おじさんもう勘弁してくださいよ。
もっと言ってやってください。
No, we can stop there.
たく、バトラのせいで時間かかりすぎだぜ。
Maria probably thought that everyone was refusing to listen to her. She hung her head, wearing a fretful expression. As she did, Georgianiki crouched down to meet her eyes and spoke to her kindly.
マリアちゃん、何も怖くないよ。だって、僕たちが一緒だもの。
Oh yeah, nothing can go wrong now.
一緒だと、僕は嘘をつかないよ。
Oh, I'm gonna hold you to that. I am so holding you to that,
だか
buddy.
ら信じて。みんなと一緒にいれば、何も怖くないんだよ。
ジョージお兄ちゃんは嘘をつかない。信じる。みんなと一緒にいれば怖くない。怖くない。
Okay, I think everything is okay for now. Maria jumped into George Aniki's arms and hugged him tightly. After Aniki patted her head, she jumped away again. Her facial expression had undergone a 180-degree change, turning back to normal. She was once again the ordinary Maria.
みんなと一緒だからもう怖くない。
ああ、そうだぜ。もう平気みたいだな。マリアは強いな。偉い。
マリア偉い。
Wait a minute. Why is that highlighted? Hold on now. What changed in the tips? Referring to yourself, in Japanese, Maria uses her own name instead of the word I when talking about herself. This is called Eliism and is common among young Japanese children. It sounds childish and cute in Japanese and can be used by young adult women to achieve the same effect. Even the other characters have various ways of referring to themselves because Japanese has more than one word for I. Kinzo, Nanjo, Eva, Jessica, and a number of other characters use watashi, which is a neutral saying or neutral way of saying I. Battler uses ore, which is a masculine, self-asserting, and very casual way of saying it. George uses boku, which has a youthful, boyish, casual, and humble feel. Hideyoshi uses washi, which goes along with his strange accent and makes him sound older, and there are many others. However, you will not always hear these words being used, just as you will not always hear Maria using her own name, because Japanese is a pro-drop language. Words like I, you, it, and so on are often simply left out when it's obvious who or what is being talked about. Yeah, I will never truly learn Japanese, but, or never learn it at all, really. But it is interesting. It's a very fascinating language. You have to admit.
なんや、どうしたんや、マリアちゃん。船酔いだったんか？ん？
まあそんなとこです。もうじき着きますね。
The harbor was already drawing near. Well, it's been drawing near for like 15 minutes. 15, 20 minutes or so. Or at least that's sort of what it's felt like. Ah, we've finished up this this little section here. Cool. All right. Oh, and the time has changed. Okay, we got a PlayStation trophy. Cool. Okay, yeah, we'll wrap it up there, but yeah, the time has changed. It is still Saturday, but it is now 10:30 in the morning. Yeah, just for total playtime, add like an hour or so if you want like an accurate representation of how long I've played, and maybe add like another 600 clicks, and that'll be more accurate, just because I kind of lost everything in moving over to the witch hunt. After all, I am a fan of hunting witches. Just look at my Town of Salem playtime. Now that's some real shit. But yeah, we'll end it there. No, I'm actually very fucking interested so far. I know that we haven't really seen much. We haven't gone through too much. We have so much more to go. But I'd be lying if I were going to go out and say like, yeah, this is kind of mid. Like, no, it's actually pretty interesting. The characters are all different, and I think that's what kind of sucked me into Higurashi, is that with all the kids there, they were all so different. They had very interesting and funny personalities. Some of them a little annoying the more you got to, you know, listen to them. But no, I mean, it was a whole lot of fun, you know, going through the story with them for 8 chapters, or 7, I guess, technically. So here, now that we have mostly adults and just again a variety of personalities, I think it's gonna be a good time. Truly, I'm very excited to see where this goes as we are about to enter this big ass mansion, which I believe a lot of the story takes place in. Again, that's kind of just my like little prediction from shit that I've, you know, briefly glanced at, but I don't really know what we got in store here. I don't know what's gonna pop up. But anyways, thank you all for watching. Again, thank you so much for tuning in. Again, when I woke up yesterday morning, it's Sunday, and I uploaded this on a Saturday. The first episode was on a Saturday, I think. Do I have that right? Well, either way, when I woke up after sleeping in the day that the first episode went up, I was not expecting to immediately get a lot of comments saying that people were excited and a lot of views, and it was very, very cool to see and very unexpected. And I'm still getting comments rolling in as I'm recording this. So it's really awesome to see the support. I do really enjoy reading all your guys' comments, suggestions for how to go about the playthrough, and whatever else you want to say. Again, feel free to make fun of me if you want, but I'm just happy to have you guys all here for the ride. And no, it's very motivating, truly. So thank you all again, and thank you to those who gave tips on what I should look at, what I should consider, what I should change going into this. And yeah, let's keep it rolling. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, all that fancy jazz, and I will see you all in the next one. Take it easy.